Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Average Gentleman's Podcast. This is Ramsey. We got Joe and Ray. And in this special episode, we've got Andre as a special guest talking to us about coronavirus, COVID-19, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Andre is someone that works at a local hospital and is kind of in the thick of things as far as dealing with what's going on right now and with Corona. So, Andre, welcome. How are you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Trying to survive. Doing my thing, doing the best I can.
So, what's going on? Yeah. So, tell us about that. Why are you in a hotel? So, I know that you said you were working.
I work on a COVID unit, and a lot of times when we come into work, we have to gown up, wear our PPE, protective personal equipment. And we don't want to, when we go home, the supervisor, my manager, doesn't want us to bring to bring things home to our families. So they're offering us a hotel to stay at. That's how serious it is. And I'm 22 years old, so I never experienced something like this. So I'm just rolling with the punches.
Dude, I'm 37 years old. I never experienced something like this. I don't think 22 is anything.
I know. Last time I heard the Spanish flu, something like the Spanish flu, it was another pandemic that was going on, but I wasn't even born for that. So
yeah, I mean,
that was like 1900s early, right?
But even that, the closest thing that we've ever experienced to that is Ebola, a few years ago, right?
Yeah.
That was the pig. Was it the pig flu?
Swine flu.
H1N1.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like those are more controlled. Like we were able to jump on it. This one is so unorthodox. It's crazy.
So I know we have a bunch of questions we're giving you ready, but do you think that it's so unexpected, or is it just because it was only a matter of time with the global economy we have and the ability to travel so quickly between airports and cities and countries, right? So me and my brother were talking about this. These viruses that may have only been localized to Wuhan 50 years ago before the international travel was there are spreading quicker just because of our travel, right? I mean,
listen, I'm not going to sit here and tell you how I know that exactly how the coronavirus was originated because there's things. But I know with the COVID-19, this strand of the corona, because there's strands already of coronavirus. I don't know if anyone knew that. But this is airborne, contact, and droplet is airborne. So if people are traveling to other places, and coming in contact with people, just touching them and talking to people, you're bringing this back home with you.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so aggressive in the transport.
Dude, and you know how much business is going on overseas, like not just in China, but everywhere else, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even like, for example, my job.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I don't want to go into details, but there are certain aspects of my job where certain people have to travel to Asia and meet with certain people and do whatever they got to do. I mean, that's a big fucking deal right there. Yes. You hear. I was in Sweden back in January and we, this whole thing had started and we were like, oh, well, whatever. It's in China. No big deal. Mm-hmm. By the time I left Sweden, there was one case in Sweden. And then it was like, oh, well, we're home. We're not going to worry about it. Literally fucking a month later, it's like, nobody fucking travel anywhere.
It progressed so quickly.
Oh, yeah. It was insane.
Like, for example, sorry to chop you guys off.
No, okay.
My place of employment, I saw when I first started, I saw a couple patients, right? Okay. We have 6 floors where I work at. First floor, second floor, third floor. The only floor that doesn't have it was the cancer unit, but all the other floors are full of coronavirus patients. So one week I saw 2 patients. Then next week, every floor is blocked off. Every patient's COVID. It's like, what the fuck?
That's insane. So like literally within weeks, it was almost every single floor.
Yeah.
That's insane.
The thing's going rampant. People moving things around. People hiding. People have to close their doors because they're not allowed to let people be in contact with other COVID patients. Like everything has to be closed off. Like, you know, it's crazy.
Well, I mean, so all right. Let me ask you this. So, how do you know that they were infected with COVID? Right? Because from what I hear, testing to get results can take anywhere from like 3 days to, let's say, 2 weeks. How do you know that those people got it?
Now it's not that long. The reason why it could be long is because so many people are being tested. Okay, but now it's like if I were to go get swabbed at my job, it would take from 2 to 4 days to get the results back.
So let me give you. We just talked about
Go
this.
Ahead, Ram.
Yeah, let me give you an example because my father was in the hospital, not this past week, but the week before on Monday. Right, he went to a hospital and he was there for I guess nearly a week.
Yeah.
Right. They tested him when he first got there. He went in. He had 104 fever and whatever, so they isolated him. By the end of the week,
hold on, you gotta give. He also is on dialysis too.
Yeah, he's on dialysis.
He's a high risk. He's
on dialysis. He's diabetic. He's got heart problems. Like, so that's the whole history. Let's say.
Yeah.
So obviously they quarantine him because they don't know whatever. So they do the test. They put him in isolation. He's probably one of maybe the first, let's say, 10 patients in this hospital that maybe has.
Yeah, rolled out.
Right, because they're not sure yet. So they isolate him. The day nurse treats him like shit. He has a sink and a shower in his room. Only cold water. The sink and the shower are both clogged, so he's like frustrated that he can't even like clean himself or whatever. He keeps asking to get the results. Nobody's giving him information. Finally, he spoke to his doctor or one of his doctors. His symptoms seem to be going away after they treat him for pneumonia. He takes it upon himself and he just leaves. He left. He had no idea what his results were because they didn't have it yet. The nurses there tried to force him to stay. They blocked him with a stretcher from trying to leave the building. They take some of his possessions, thinking that he would stay, and he said, "Fuck you, shove it up your ass." And I mean, my father's a stubborn son of a bitch, basically, and got in his car and left. I want to say 5 days later, he got the results and he tested negative for all 3 strains.
I understand your father, and I understand the nurses. What the nurses probably were doing were probably very drastic, but I understand why they're doing what they're doing. But listen, okay, so you got to understand.
I'm just giving you from an outside view because, like, I at some point I had to get involved and say, like, call the nurses station and be like, what the fuck is going on and why are you treating him like this? For one, like, I get it. This is like a big thing. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but I understand this is a big thing, and I'm not taking it out on you. I'm just trying to get like. I do want to get your perspective on it, on how you see it and how you would handle it compared to how these guys handle it. Sorry, I just jumped in because we just talked about it the other day.
What angle do you want me to answer it from? You want me to answer it from
both? However you want to answer it. Yeah, both point of views that you have.
I'm gonna start with the patient angle. Okay, patients come in, and the way my unit is set up, everything is negative pressure. So like they have holes in the wall that suck air from outside. Because when you have the coronavirus, they want to suck the air that's in there outside. So they have everyone quarantined in sections. So you're a patient, you're coming in, and you're like, what the hell is this? Why the fuck am I by myself? It looks like I'm in jail. No one ever wants to come in and have direct contact with me. I'm on this unit for a week, and I can't even use the regular toilet. We have to put people on commodes, and they have to use the commode. They can't use a regular bathroom. So it's like I'm used to a certain way of living, and now I'm coming in to get better, but it looks like I'm just in jail. So a lot of these people get like anxious, they get angry, they have no human contact as well.
Right. No, so that's funny because that's exactly how he labeled it. He said that it feels like he's in jail. So sorry. Go on. Yeah.
You can't even see someone's mouth. You don't understand Like, to be honest, I work in this unit and I have nightmares sometimes because I'm on the unit and you can't even see my coworker's mouth. You don't understand how important that is when you're communicating with someone. So imagine a patient that doesn't even know what someone taking care of them, and doesn't know what their face looks like because they have an N95 on, they have a bunch of gowns on, they don't even know if you're a man or female. It's the same thing as not talking to no one. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's interesting.
But coming from a nursing perspective, it's like I can't come in and out of this room putting my health at risk, knowing that I have other patients that I have to take care of, or I have a family I have to come back home to. I want to come and limit contact as much as possible. I don't want to be, just because you have an N95 on and PPE doesn't mean that we can't get at risk for this.
What do you mean by PPE? What's PPE? Sorry.
And to think of it,
sorry,
I was going to say too, because if your father didn't have it, and he's getting the nurse is getting a little too close to him, and he actually caught it from another patient, he could end up giving it to your father when he didn't have it to begin with.
No, that I understand. That I completely understand. No, the only thing that one of the reasons why I asked, so he had mentioned to me that the night nurse and the day nurse, right, were two completely different scenarios. Where the night nurse would come in and check on him almost every hour, 2 hours, where the day nurse would completely avoid him for like 3-4 hours at a time, right? So
that depends on the nurse,
right. No, and that's what I mean, I should have probably said that before, but that's what I was trying to get at, like to get your perspective on, because he was like the night nurse. He goes, at night, like I look forward. When he was there, he was like, I look forward to the night nurse because she takes care of me so much more than the day nurse. Like he'll ask the day nurse for something, and she won't come back for 4 or 5 hours. And I get it, you know, maybe there's more commotion going on during the day or rather than night, you know, but I mean, there's still the same amount of patients at this point, right?
Yeah. I think sometimes it depends on the person and the character, because some nurses are dickheads, I'm not going to lie. Some people are there for the money and some people are there for generally wanting to help. But at the same time, limiting contact is the priority. I'm not going to lie, like limiting contact as much as possible. So if I have to go in beds, I'm going to go in with the nursing assistant or other personnel so we can get all we got to get done, and then we can wait before we have to go back in.
So here's a crazy question, right? Mm-hmm. So we're all concerned about our healthcare workers developing the COVID-19 because it would negatively affect our ability to treat patients, right?
We're all exposed, man. I'm in a hotel right now.
But my point is, do you think we're going to get to a point where the healthcare is going to finally say kind of thing like, you know what, fuck it, everyone in healthcare already needs to get the virus if you don't have it already, so let's just fucking go balls to the wall so that way we can get through it to treat the patients that are going to come? So you think because it's crazy as it sounds, like, wouldn't it be better for everyone in healthcare to get it now, so that way when we get those huge peaks in the regular public that you're already immune to it or already through the symptoms that you can work now?
So basically you're talking about like the flu, for example, how you get vaccinated with the flu, like a dead agent of the flu, and just get.
And again, there's everything I've heard and I've seen in the interviews with the guy from the CDC was that we don't know yet because we haven't had a full cycle of this drug, this virus yet, but everything about this type of virus we know already indicates that once you have it, your body knows how to defend yourself in the future.
Yeah, that's at the same time, I feel like I'm sorry, I gotta reiterate this.
No, please do.
Like, we've been exposed to this already. I've been coughed on, I've been picked up poop, I have done things with patients that have coronavirus. So I think, me personally, I've been experiencing symptoms already, you know, but I feel like after a while, I have a lot of healthcare workers have such a high immune system because we're around like a lot of sickness all the time, constantly. I feel like we're not showing as much as symptoms as someone that is not around the healthcare field.
Yeah, so if you took like an average civilian and put them in the same position as you are, even just shadowing you, they're probably going to catch it much more quicker than you are just because of the environment that you're typically exposed to.
Yes, I have a friend. She has coronavirus, and her mom was a nurse and brought it home to her. Her mom wasn't showing symptoms, but her daughter was. And her mom is positive for coronavirus. So did the daughter. You see what I'm saying?
That's the scariest thing about this, right? Is that that 2 weeks of not knowing if you're contagious or you're without symptoms, and even if you have it, you may not show symptoms. Period. Like what's the actor Elba, Idris Elba, is that his name? Idris Elba. Yeah, like she didn't show a single symptom the whole time he had it.
Yeah, so like the basketball player Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, but these are younger people, healthy. You know. I'm 20. I'm young and I work out for the most part. I think that I probably have it, you know. But at the same time, it's like a lot of someone that's not like immunocompromised. I have another friend. He's like morbidly. He's not obese, but he has a lot of fat on him. He was in ICU for like 3 weeks. A week because of the coronavirus. But he's doing better now. It's all case scenario. Everyone's different. You know?
Yeah. That's crazy.
And so you know, we hear the biggest thing you hear on the news and everything: social distancing. That's how you fight this. Social distancing. Yeah. Is that why that's stressed so much? Just because people can have it and be carrying it and not even know it, and if you're immunocompromised or have something that makes you more susceptible to it, that's where you're going to catch it.
I feel like in the beginning, it was like when we first started hearing about this COVID-19, a lot of people didn't know. So we were going out, still going about our daily lives. And a lot of the younger kids around my age think they're invincible and they're going outside and still doing whatever they want to do. And
like the assholes in Miami.
Yeah. You don't understand that we may not show symptoms, but people we get in contact with will bring it home. You know, and I can't stress that enough. Like, I think social distancing is very, very important. Very important. Because that's what we need to do until we get this under control. You know, how to handle it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest problem that, in my opinion, is of how many industries are considering essential employees. Like I understand that we need the grocery stores running because
people need to get food.
You need food.
We're just not ready as a society, especially your generation. And I'm only saying that because it's a gap between our you know.
Yeah, I definitely understand. Yeah.
And is the generation of Blue Apron, ordering out, eating out, you know. Like, and I think that's why we're seeing I think that's great for the restaurants that they're able to still be open and everything. But like,
yeah, but that's not all. There's only a handful that can stay open, right? Yeah. The ones that are eligible to do delivery. What about the type that they can't?
Yeah,
they can do. They're open for a take to go.
Yeah,
I saw a video. Did you send the video of the place in Portland? Was that in our group text message?
Boober Eats?
The Boober Eats, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Wait. Listen, explain what Boober Eats is, though. Go ahead. Give it a little bit of explanation. Because for the listeners, okay, you know, they don't know what Boober Eats is.
All right, so I'll give a short synopsis, and I'm sure my wife is going to love that I'm educated in this field.
I'll do the educating if you want to stay out of trouble.
Well, she's upstairs. She's upstairs. It's okay, you know.
Yeah, so basically, strippers and strip clubs and all that, you know, the taking a hit, you can't really claim unemployment for giving a lap dance, right? So they're trying to make money however they can. So this one strip club in Portland decided to, you know, copy Uber Eats and do like a food delivery service where they have two strippers with a you know, bouncer with them. They do the delivery and then they do like a 10-minute kind of dance, you know, feet away from them. But
is this an app I can download on my phone?
Don't worry. Coming to New Jersey soon.
They're not going to deliver from Portland.
Jersey soon. All right, wait.
Give it
if
another.
Take down my phone number. Text me. I'll come over and shake my boobies.
That's it. Anyway, so the thing that caught my attention was the name
boobs?
that they gave it was Uber Eats. I thought it was pretty funny.
That's what caught your attention? The name?
Uber Eats.
Why do I forgot how we got on this topic already? Jesus,
I don't know, you brought it up, Joe. So
yeah.
Once boobs get in the conversation,
exactly. I'm thinking about his titties right now.
I think we were talking about the young, people like social distance.
Oh yeah, it's just not being ready for having the supplies or even the cooking utensils or the space in your apartment to do these things. So and I think it's great that we're giving these restaurants and even bars like in New Jersey, which is great for my industry, is that they're allowing bars to sell packaged goods to go with their deliveries or the go orders, which is it's amazing. But I was in the grocery store yesterday and I'm trying to go just once a week, twice at most, just buying in bulk, cooking at home as much as we can.
Yeah.
And I actually took some time off work too because in my industry we're salesmen, so we're also considered employees. So I have my father-in-law lives with us. He's 72, and he takes care of his father, who's 101.
Oh, you
so
don't.
I was concerned if I'm out there in the liquor stores, I bring something home. I'm going to kill my grandfather-in-law essentially. It's my process.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be completely honest. I think when I first started doing this, when this first coronavirus, I was still going out and I was hanging out with girls like I wasn't supposed to. And then when I went to work one day, it took me really seeing a lot of sick people to be like, wow, like this isn't right. Okay. And I feel like a lot of things I think it's not more than just this time. I think it's the psychological development of people in general. When you get a 22-year-old, when you get like a 18 from 25-year-old adult, they feel invincible and they're going to go out and do whatever. You know what I'm saying? I think that's just in general. When you get older, you start to think like the way you guys are thinking. Like, listen, I don't want to bring people home, get people sick. I don't mind staying home. But at the same time,
you have a different mindset.
Yeah, and I feel like we all have these essential things that we need to go shopping, go get these things. A lot of people don't think like that, and it's just I didn't think like that either.
Well, here's a question. Sorry,
what I was saying was, I saw these two workers and they were complaining, everyone's out here shopping like it's a regular day, and like I felt bad that I was out shopping.
Yeah.
But like,
well, hold on. What store did you go to? What store did you go to? Because I went to one.
Went to ShopRite.
So I went to a Stop and Shop over here, and what they did now is they put up like a plexiglass in front of the cashier, and then they have so then they have tape on the floor where it's like 6 feet away from the person in front of you. So
our ShopRite has the tape too.
So funny that we were talking about this because I actually took a video of it, and it's going to go up on the next YouTube video that we're posting up soon. Because I was like, holy shit, this is the first time I'm seeing something like this in my fucking 36 years of being alive. I've never seen something like that in my life, except for me being at the bank where you have the fucking bulletproof glass in front of you, right?
Yeah.
Or even the liquor store in Newark, to tell you the truth.
But it just goes to show you, I
was trying to be funny there.
How soft we are, man. Like, we really are a soft fucking country. Like,
well, here's a question. Here's a question for you guys. Here's a question for all four of us, right?
And I'm soft too.
Here's a question for all four of us. Does the world?
Really that sounded terrible. I'm going to bed, guys.
Well, I hope you're not hard right now.
Here's a question for the four. Here's a question for the four of us. Do you think from now on the world is going to be a little bit different than it was before because of all this?
I'm a little bit different.
For sure.
The whole world is a different world.
When you're forced into these kind of changes, some are going to go, some are going to stay. Some is.
There's going to be we're going to see. Listen, and I don't know if I said this last week or I've thought about this in my head or whatever, but our whole healthcare process is going to change. You don't think that doctors, now that they're basically forcing everyone to teleconference in, aren't going to make all sick patients teleconference in the future? It keeps sickness out of their office. It doesn't let them be a hot spot and epicenter, and they only see well patients in the office. Everything else is just Skyped in.
Or maybe not mandate, but at least
it's not going to be a mandate, but it's going to become
a lot more readily available, like suggested.
Yeah,
it's going to become policy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it's but it's not. Put it this way, not just that. What about everything else? Education,
I think work, travel,
the whole line.
It's definitely going to go down. I think like actual work space. I think the work from home is going to take off.
Travel is going to explode again after this is over.
By the way,
after this is over, we are a short-term, stupid fucking country. I'm sorry. We forget things, so we forget so fast the important shit. But remember that Kim Kardashian got fucked by Ray J how many years ago? But we don't remember, the important things like when was H1N1? I can't tell you what year it was.
Yeah, me either.
And these are things that are much more important to us, but we look at it as trivial. They're gonna come back. Everyone's gonna start traveling. We're gonna think, after this is over, it's gonna be business as usual. And I'm terrified for next year because it's gonna be even worse.
Yeah.
That's what I'm terrified.
You know what I'm terrified of? I'm terrified of what's gonna happen next. Because all I have to say, all right,
hurricanes come.
It's not. It's
supposed to be bad.
It's not just that. It's not just. I feel like ever since. All right, so you guys know the story. At least my New Year's Eve, with that fucking house fire across the street. I feel like ever since then, it's just been a fucking whirlwind of 2020.
Well, 2020 has been a shitty year.
That's what I mean.
Only March.
That's what I mean. Like literally hours before 2020 hit, I'm fucking sitting there trying to save some guy's life from a burning building.
Yeah.
And now we're
Maybe this was the Mayan year.
Who knows? And now we're sitting at the end of March, and it's like you're quarantined in your house for the next who knows how long. Like my kid's school year right now. My kid's school year right now says for another 4 weeks we're staying home. And it's possible that for the rest of the school year we're staying home.
Yeah, your kids aren't going back to school.
That's what I mean.
The school year.
That's what I mean.
I already assume my kids are
that's
home
my
for.
Point. But that's my point. We're like yes, it's terrible, and we're going through a lot right now. But again, these are first world real fucking problems. Our kids can't go back to school. I know it sucks, and I know it's not what we're used to, but this too shall fucking pass, right? But I don't know, man. There are so many worse things I see out. You hear about, you see, forget about.
I agree. This is what I'm worried about, right? All right, you're a patient that gets the coronavirus. You recover, okay? You recover. Are there any other ailments that you now suffer from that we don't know about yet?
Like for example, my friend.
Oh, see, you already have an answer. Let me hear it.
she has another 5 days of being isolated. Like she has to stop being isolated from everyone. But she already can tell that when she's over, she's always gonna have shorter breath, like when she's walking up steps, or fatigue faster and stuff like that.
But that's only because it's maybe right now that you're seeing it because maybe she's just recovering. Like think about maybe pneumonia, right? Yeah. For a little while you're or an upper respiratory infection. For a little while you're still gonna feel that until you get back to normal. But does that stay with you forever, or
I think it's gonna. For someone that's immunocompromised, it's gonna mess them up, worse than they are now, and then now it's gonna make the recovery harder. I think if you're more healthy, if you're healthier, you will recover faster. But I don't know. We have to wait and see because a lot of people. We have to wait and see.
Right, but how long do you wait and see? I mean, we don't know. We don't know those answers, right?
We may not know the answers until
We won't know for months.
Dead 100 years from now, right? I mean, no, seriously.
No, but we won't know for a little while, right? We won't know. We have no idea. Like, we don't know what the hell's going to happen in the next, 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean, but that's true of our whole fucking life, Ramsey. I mean,
it should be me.
I could walk out my house right now to have a cigarette or something and get killed.
By the way, you should fucking stop smoking because, that's one of the... You're a higher risk than everyone else.
Uh-huh. He's like, yeah, fuck that.
Yeah. we see it on your face, buddy. We see it on your face.
Yeah.
I'm a poster child of good health here, guys. You don't see it?
Uh-huh.
All those colonoscopies.
Oh, shit.
I had 2.
They make you drink that fluid, that Go Lightly?
I had the first time I took the prescription one, whatever the fuck it was called. And then the second time they had me take like Miralax and laxatives, and I had 2-day prep the second time, so I couldn't eat anything for 2 days, which is fucking miserable. But all right, so questions. What else we got? Let's see. Where are we at? Did we even start any fucking questions?
We didn't do any formal questions.
Indirectly, we have. We've answered a lot of them. Yeah.
I mean, so you said, all right, so you said someone that has it, right? So what were their symptoms that they knew that they had it, or that they got kind of checked out, or what?
Okay, so she's a young lady. She contracted it from her mother. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah, we hear.
Yep.
Contracted from her mother.
Now wait, hold on. How did she know that she contracted from her mother?
Her mother was tested positive, and she works at the hospital.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, her mom's a healthcare worker. So basically, because the patient that she was with,
is that still an assumption? Like, that's still to some level is an assumption. Like, she still could have caught it
somewhere else,
some other way.
I was just about to answer that. The patient that had before, like when people first come into the hospital, there's different units. They wouldn't allow certain people to go to certain floors, but the floor that this patient went to, he tested positive, and no one was wearing PPE. So majority of the nurses on that floor tested positive for COVID because they weren't wearing PPE, and we didn't know what was coming. They didn't know what was coming to them because they didn't do it.
So before you go on, can you tell us what PPE is?
Personal protective equipment. So, like, for example, if you're in if you're doing if you're a paramedic or you're working in an ambulance, they will wear like a whole hazmat suit.
Okay.
For like protect.
It's anything that protects you. So if it's in a hospital, it's going to be face mask, gloves, scrubs. Like in a brewery where we are, and if our PPE is wearing steel-toe shoes, hard hats, safety glasses, vests, so it's just a general term for safety equipment.
Gotcha.
PPE.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so she was experiencing shortness of breath first. Then she started to have a itching soreness in her throat. And then she had a runny nose, and then the fever started. And then she felt so tired to the point where when she laid down, she felt good. But the only time she felt good when she was laying down. And when she started to stand up, she felt like she was going to die and she couldn't breathe.
So for me, all of those symptoms are just allergies to me.
Yeah.
Honestly, because I have really bad.
You shouldn't get a fever from an allergy.
Well, no, okay, no, it depends, right? So for me, it's I have very bad seasonal allergies, right? So for example, in the spring, I'll have shortness of breath if I'm doing work outside. I have to take an inhaler for my allergies. My nose gets runny, and then if I use a fucking nasal spray, and my allergies get really bad, I ended up getting a not just a sore throat, but more of a strep throat, right? And I've had it so I think maybe a year or two ago, it was so bad. In the fall, I was doing work in the backyard where my allergies are so bad, they actually caused me to have strep throat so far in my throat. It was basically beyond the point of where, just where my throat starts to close up for me to swallow food and stuff. And it was so far down where I couldn't. They gave me some kind of Novocaine to some kind of gel to kind of soothe my throat. But it was so far down that if I tried to put the lubricant,
I'll give you a gel to soothe your throat.
Yeah. Fuck you. But no, they gave me whatever. Where it was basically past my whole gag reflex where. I ended up having to go to the hospital, and they gave me fucking IV. Yeah, fuck you, Joe. I can see you laughing.
Go ahead, Joe. Just say it.
Yeah, just say it. Just say it. Just say it. Your cock's not big enough. You're white. You're white. You're white. It's not big enough.
You won't even hit his Adam's apple.
I am Irish, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
So anyway, so I had to end up going to the hospital. Where they had to put me fucking on antibiotics IV in order for all the bullshit to go away, and it was So to me, those symptoms can also be, especially now, it's you got spring allergies coming up, right? So
also diarrhea too.
People diarrhea too. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
But how many patients actually have diarrhea?
All of them.
All of them.
A lot of them. Yeah. Yeah.
What if you have diarrhea on a normal basis? How do you know?
Stop taking your laxatives.
But I like using Chipotle on my underwear.
Oh my God, bro.
No. South Park, come on. That episode's probably out before you were born.
Yeah, but I watched South Park.
Not that young. So you mentioned diarrhea.
Yeah.
So like what other more not common symptoms have you seen in these patients? Like I read recently, like people are starting to experience a loss of sense of taste.
Yeah, they are.
They're that isn't really known that you guys are seeing.
Because they're having a lot of congestive issues and nasal issues due to they're having a high fever and all the medications that they're taking. I'm not saying it's because of the medication, but I had this one lady. She was she was positive for COVID, and she was talking to the doctor, and she was telling the doctor, I can't eat anything. I don't have an urge to eat, and I can't taste none of the food. And I asked the doctor,
how do I get COVID-19?
Wait, hold on, because I feel like that's a ridiculous statement.
Symptom?
Yeah, because
I feel
no, it's ridiculous. My fucking sinuses are completely clogged right now, and I can't taste or smell shit. So
I don't know.
Okay,
that's it.
That's a symptom right there. Like what the fuck? Like I've had that for the last fucking 20 something years, where my sinuses get clogged and I can't taste anything.
Okay, so that's a way for you to know that you don't have COVID-19, right? Because he said that's a symptom. That lady probably has fucking allergies. She doesn't have a fucking symptom.
No, but I think that comes on a lot later in the process. That would be. Yeah, I don't think you would
fuck that lady.
Experience that until after you've been tested positive.
No, he doesn't want anyone to have COVID. He's no, they don't have it. Don't care.
No, because all right, no, it's
fucking catch this virus, man.
I'm just messing. I'm messing around.
This thing is making it flatten the curve.
No, I'm messing around. Because you see all those little bullshit charts where it's you have allergies or you're sick or you have COVID, right? But a lot of those symptoms are very similar, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So unless you're shitting diarrhea, you can't taste anything, you can't breathe.
I mean, but there's only so many symptoms we can have anyway, right? I mean,
majority.
I mean, it's sad to say, but cancer probably has a lot of the same symptoms as the flu has, right? I mean,
I don't know.
Watch your temperature. If you keep getting a temperature and breaking it, and then you probably have COVID. You probably have to get tested. And also a lot of people that are having a lot of respiratory issues, their oxygen levels are just dropping as soon as they their oxygen level is going, it'll be at 92 and then drop to 85.
But how can someone actually test that?
I mean, that's if you're positive and you're going through everything and you're sick already. That's what
okay.
Or younger or people that are not sick. No. I'm talking about the people that are sick in the hospital.
I'm sorry. Does anyone else feel like this is fucking cooties? The whole like seriously. Do you think we're gonna be talking about this in a year? Yo, did you get the COVID? I got the COVID. like if someone told me they have COVID-19, I'm gonna kind of feel like they have AIDS or something, right? Like we're treating it the same way. Like, oh, you got COVID-19, get away from me, man. Like we're losing our fucking minds over this shit.
Yeah,
it feels like we're 12 years old and everyone has the cooties. Oh, stay away from me. I don't need fucking shit. Like
it's not.
Well, the cooties also never killed anyone.
Yeah, that's
it
true.
It does have to be taken a little bit more
that's
seriously.
That's because you got your cootie shot. At least we had the vaccine for the cooties back then. Neil, you were good to go, brother. Where's my Neil, with this shit?
My friend that has COVID, right? There's guys still in her DMs like, oh, do you want to pull up? Like, what do you mean?
Are you serious?
I have COVID? Like, you want me to come over? Like, I'm trying to have sex with you while I have COVID? Like, come on. And guys don't care. They're still like, yo, what you doing? So I'm just like, yo, they need help.
You know what? She should fucking text them with her address at the hospital. They show up here.
No, she'll get in fucking trouble, man. You didn't hear about this guy that was going around when he knew he had COVID and they're like trying to charge him with terrorism as well.
Oh, because he was licking all the shit in Walmart.
Yeah, like, and it's the same fucking, like, they're trying to charge that guy with terrorism.
Yeah.
Like, I know he's stupid and we want to make a fucking example, but don't ruin the kid's fucking life.
I guess, yeah.
Like, is that really, like, the solution? Like, make an example out of him, put him in the public square, call him a fucking asshole, even spank him if you want to.
Make him work at a tiger farm.
Like, no, don't ruin his fucking life, man. Did you see Joe's fucking husbands? Don't ruin his life.
I don't know. The last one made it okay.
Until he shot himself in the head.
No, the last one, the new one.
Oh, I haven't seen him that much. I only saw a little bit of him.
Wait, he's there. He's still alive.
All right, we got, and when you put the teeth between the two of them, we got enough for maybe a person.
Oh, dude. So if you guys haven't watched it, go watch Tiger King on fucking Netflix. Listen, I know it's not.
What time does your shift start tomorrow? 3000.
Who, me?
Yeah,
Andre 3000. Come on, catch up.
103,000. What the hell? I'm going crazy. I've been drinking too much of this drink. So tomorrow,
I was joking about your name being Andre 3000, so I just called you 3000. Get it? Yeah.
I think he's too young for Andre 3000.
What do you
Yeah,
mean?
I think you're showing your age, Joe.
Am I 2000 and late?
Wait, didn't
or 2008?
What song did he do?
Oh no!
Like I,
bright colors.
Little
bob haircut.
Shake it like a Polaroid picture.
Picture.
No, yeah, he's too young.
Hey y'all, did he do that song?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Hey y'all.
Yeah.
Shake it. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So, what time is your shift tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I'm off tomorrow. I work Monday, and it's.
I was gonna say you're drinking. I hope you're off tomorrow.
Yeah. I work tomorrow at 7. Oh my God, Monday at 7:00 in the morning.
So, okay, but before I get to the joke I was going to make about you have nothing to do now, so go watch fucking Tiger King.
Okay.
How much are they working you extra? Like, are they pulling you in for extra shifts for people being down? Like,
it's annoying.
I imagine. Good.
It's annoying because they have me working on a COVID unit, and no matter where I go, I'm going to be exposed. So they try to like float me to different floors, but every floor has a COVID. Every floor is COVID.
So what are they doing to keep you guys protected besides like your regular N95 mask and whatever else you're wearing? Like, are they doing anything? I mean, I get it. Like, I've heard that supplies are running low, but I mean, there's got to be some kind of not hazmat suit, but something similar to it where it protects the workers as much as possible.
The only really doctors are really getting those suits when they intubate patients to come in and intubate and then leave. We don't really wear those. We wear a gown over, like a plastic gown, an N95, and a mesh surgical mask, and then we're in there with goggles. Like that's what we get in gloves. So
what actually protects you? I mean, so the mask protects your nose and your mouth, right, from inhaling anything, and the goggles will protect your eyes. But other than that, like, so if a patient, like, while you're wearing that stuff, coughs on you, it gets in your skin, technically it doesn't. Does it affect you? Does it not affect you?
I don't really know the exact answer to that. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm just asking because it's like you have everything else, but if they cough on you or they sneeze on you, I mean, that's some kind of germs. Like what would you do if, like,
coughed on?
you've been coughed on, but someone sneezed on you, like you're gonna run to the fucking bathroom and just like lather yourself and fucking, you know.
Hold on, but that's insane what you're asking. Like, and before you, like,
you would never be able to tend to the patient.
Like when we come into work,
you'd be 1 minute on and like 5 minutes off. But
still,
the amount of times you're gonna have to like wash up.
But still, you know of like all the bullshit that's going on right now, right? You're almost like, think about it. You're kind of thinking about yourself at the same time, right? Like, fuck, this person just like sneezed on me. I have their fucking saliva on my forehead. I don't want it to drip into my eyes. I don't want to get sick. And then you almost get paranoid, right? Where it's like, when
I walk in, okay, let me explain to you. I walk into work with clothes. I change my clothes into we have specific scrubs we wear for the floor.
Yeah.
You put the scrubs on. Before we go in the unit, we have to put, like, we're generally covered everywhere. Like, you know, we're not really, we don't have skin out. But if someone coughs on my neck, the best I can do, they tell us, go home and shower right away. Like, that's the best thing you can do. Like, you know, it's like.
But they're telling you go home and shower. Like, you can't just shower at the fucking hospital real quick. Just like,
no,
scrub yourself.
Yeah, we're not allowed to shower at the hospital. Like, they bring us food, so we can't even leave the unit. We have to stay on the unit. We can't leave and go venture out into the hospital.
Yeah,
we have to stay on the unit. Because
it's fucking it's scary, but like weird at the like this is. I mean, all right, think about it. For us, this is weird. This is new. I mean, we've seen movies on it, right? We've seen Outbreak. You've seen Outbreak. I mean, maybe Andre, you haven't seen Outbreak because you're a little too young.
I don't know if you've seen Outbreak. I think it's,
you're a little too young, but I know that at least the three of us, we've seen Outbreak.
Yeah, it's an amazing movie. Dustin Hoffman, Cuba Gooding Jr.
We've seen it.
Donald Sutherland.
We've seen it like back in the day. And we're like,
wait, time out. Do you know any of them?
I know Donald Hoffman Jr. I know his face.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
I know you know. Yeah, he knows him. Yeah, that's about it. But listen, Outbreak. It's also top 10 on Netflix right now because of all this.
You're going to have to give me mad movies to watch. I'm writing these things down.
Write it down because this is something that's come out. I mean, this when we were fucking kids, this movie came out, you know, and now it's on the fucking Netflix, and because of
that was young Cuba Gooding, man.
Oh yeah, this is like way before fucking
Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire. I was gonna say Tobey Maguire.
Oh yeah,
yeah. This is way before fucking that movie. Holy shit. Yeah, that fucking monkey, and then the whole fucking world just went to shit. I mean, this is that same kind of bullshit, basically.
Yeah, the world is so horrible right now. I'm waiting for my ex to text me and check on me. I don't think it's gonna happen though. She'll go fuck on me. It's a joke.
But listen, it's again, I'm not downplaying anything. This is terrible, but
yeah,
we've gotten through this as a world before. We're going to get through this now. And I think that's what people need to remember, first of all.
But
is that, yes, it's because like the question I made jokingly about, do you think that you're going to have a stigma? Like anyone who gets COVID-19, do you think people are going to look at them differently now? Like, because we're playing this virus up to be the boogeyman. Like that was the joke with the cooties I was trying to make. Was like, I mean, if someone tells me right now like they have COVID, you're going to look at them different, no?
Well, you're going to be. I mean, people are going to be people no matter what, obviously. But I'm not going to go out and scream to the world, I have COVID-19. Obviously, people are going to freaking look at me different. Be quiet, say to yourself, feel better, and keep it moving. Keep your business to yourself. No one needs to know that you have COVID-19 unless you're by yourself.
But my point is that yes, this is a pandemic, but we're making it pandemonium by our inability to just, be smart and stay calm. Like
it'll be like that for a while, and then it'll die down. It'll be like the same thing with AIDS and HIV.
Yeah, but this is something new.
Yeah, but this is like 10 times worse than that. I mean, at least for now, because I think it's affecting more people so much faster than it is AIDS and HIV, right? Because it's not sexually transmitted; it's literally airborne.
Let me ask this. So the numbers keep exponentially increasing. Is that because of a backlog of test results coming in, or is that because it's spreading that exponentially now?
Or
is it a mix of both?
I don't think it's the test results. I think it's that's a hard question.
To me, I think it's both.
I'm gonna say both too, but I don't think that the test results now it's more efficient with the test results. It's not taking a week. I don't know why your dad's took that long, because
his took a week and a half to get results.
I don't know why.
And it's not like a fucking hospital in the fucking middle of nowhere. It's like it's St. Barnabas.
I'm telling you, it was
quote unquote.
Your father got one of the early tests that took longer. They weren't the rapid response tests that they created, and the hospital probably couldn't get your insurance company to pay for a second test. So they gave him a test that took longer to get results on, and he's had to wait. Guaranteed.
Insurances are profiting right now. That's all that you guys don't understand. Like, insurances are having.
Oh, I'm sure.
Right
I'm sure. Insurance is fucking making money out of.
They always do.
Yeah, they always do.
Yeah, I saw one of my a guy I used to work with. He was as a bartender many years ago, and now he's works for a magazine, and he's actually the editor-in-chief of a magazine in Hudson County. And he posted something along the lines of, support our healthcare system, support our workers. He's like, but all these hospitals that have been charging us and overcharging us, $50 for an aspirin, and now when we need them, don't have the capacity to protect us. Do you think that there's going to be healthcare reform tied to this afterwards? Do you think that the government might actually put in maybe not an Affordable Care Act, but some kind of provisions that require health insurance and healthcare companies to be ready for, at least have a stockpile of X amount of masks, because that's what's hurting us most, is the inability to stay protected, right? And shit like that.
I think that they're going to be more proactive now because of the things that are happening, and they're going to have more accessibilities for like the hospitals and people that need these medications and stuff like that. But I think they're still gonna. It's a business. They're still gonna. They need to get their money. Like, you got to understand that they're not gonna stop, make things affordable for people if they like. They're not going to do that. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, they're not.
But I understand. But I'm saying, I agree with you that they're never going to do that on their own. Yeah. But do you think that what we're going through right now is going to be enough of a kick in the ass to them? Of the fact that we're seeing like we've been talking about the Affordable Care Act for how many years now with Obamacare and all that shit, whatever you want to call it. And nothing's happened. We've Obama passes it, and then all of a sudden, Trump gets rid of it. So it's not working, right? Do you think that and the reason it's not working is because at the end of the day, while Americans say paying for healthcare sucks, we've never had a problem like this in the past. Do you think that this type of pandemic is going to actually have some good maybe in the healthcare that's going to force them to maybe not self-correct, but we're going to demand them correct?
I feel like I said, they're going to be proactive. I don't really know what they're going to do to make things work, for people like. But for example, I'll give you an example. So you heard about this $1,000 that Trump is trying to give everybody, right?
Because it's more than $1,000.
Yeah, but obviously more than $1,000 for the government, but they're giving everyone $1,000.
You're gonna get some money, buddy. Maybe you should get some more because you're a fucking nurse.
Nah, man, they're not. We don't.
And they're not. And let's be clear. They're not giving any money. You're basically getting an advance on your tax return next year.
Exactly. That's it. It's fucking. I don't know, man. I can't.
You're gonna have millions of people next year when they file their taxes and they get they may owe money, and then why do I owe money? Oh well, you got all that money from Trump from COVID-19.
Oh, you got all that money, and then you bought a new iPad. Oh, you got to pay that back next year. Don't worry.
I mean, in regards to your question, I can't answer it because I don't know how. I really don't know. They're going to be more proactive.
Well, no, I'm asking your opinion. Like, do you think that is good? I know, believe me, if you had the fucking answer, I'd be taking you right down the street right now. Let's go talk to someone, Jersey City Medical Center. You know, I don't know if that's where you work, but you know. So.
No, I feel like they're going to be more proactive, but I feel like they're gonna. At the same time, they're going to. They might implement things to make things work, but I don't really know, man. I don't know. I just have to go with the flow right now. Like, before I can tell you.
I feel you, brother.
It's a job, right? So, I mean, it's something you want to do, but you're on the front lines. You're on the front lines, right?
Sometimes I feel like they don't care. I think I'm a number, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, but that's. I mean, if it wasn't for this craziness right now, right?
Yeah.
That would technically be considered any other job where it's like they don't care about their employees. Not that they don't care about the employees, but you know, you're not bringing in money or you're not bringing in whatever, so they don't really give a shit, right?
But that's a fundamental problem with healthcare. Then
no, it's not. I'm not talking about healthcare.
We can't rely on.
I'm not talking about healthcare. I'm talking about just a general look or a general stance at any job, for example, right? Like Amazon, they don't give a shit about their warehouse workers. They don't give a shit. They'll just replace anybody that fucking fucks up.
But at the end of the fucking day, if I have to take 2 days to get my package instead of 1 day, it's who the fuck cares? We should, as a society, and we should hold healthcare to a different standard.
Of course, of course. But nobody sees it that way.
But the problem is we don't. We treat them the same as Target. We treat Aetna and Blue Cross Blue Shield the same as we treat Target and Walmart when it comes to profits. And that's the problem. And it's an easy way to make up more and more money. Like the whole master charge you have at a hospital where it says what they charge for every procedure, regardless of what it costs. Like CarePoint, which is what's in Bayonne now, the Bayonne Medical Center. Not CarePoint, whatever the fuck Bayonne Medical Center is now. I want to say the wrong one because one of them is good, one of them is shitty. I don't remember which one is which. So I don't want to disparage the good one if by mistaking it, right? So whatever the fuck Bayonne Hospital was, didn't work with any insurance companies in the state of New Jersey. So that way they could be out of network with every insurance company and charge them whatever the fuck they wanted. And out of network policies say they pay 80% of whatever whatever your copay is, right? That's so they intentionally charge absurd amount of money. They charge for a Band-Aid $17 because they knew that they could get away.
They can fucking get away with it. Yeah, they're fucking assholes.
That's the point. We need, and I don't think socialized medicine is the right way to go because I still think I want to have the best doctors out there and learning in this country.
So is this your question? You think that because of the pandemic, are they going to make adjustments to things like that? Because
you would hope so, right? You would hope so.
But they don't.
They don't. But I don't know. I'm just saying how long do we sit here and say they don't care? What are we going to do until we fucking do something? You know, like just having this conversation is. I mean, this is. I'm not saying this is. I'm not saying it's starting a revolution, whatever. But we're so afraid to talk about hard subjects as a people and to take, you know, these hard, but we're not able to talk about something and hear your side of it and say, okay, you know what, you're right, I agree with you, I'm wrong. You look at just look at the news stations. It's Fox, it's CNN, it's ABC. They all have their narrative and they fucking stick to that.
Yeah, they have their view,
and it's dangerous. You know, I don't know. I'm just getting off onto a rant right now. I do it often. So, all right, let's talk about something happier. What are you, a Giants fan, Jets fan? Are you missing sports? What sport are you missing? Are you a basketball guy, Knicks, Nets?
Basketball.
Well, no matter what sport he's into, he's missing it right now.
I'm a basketball fanatic, but I played football all 4 years of high school, defensive end and outside linebacker. But basketball is my sport. Basketball is my sport, and my team will have to be the Milwaukee Bucks. I've been a Milwaukee Bucks.
You're a Giannis guy.
Yeah, of course, but I've been a Mute, Brandon Jennings, and Monte Ellis fan since that's when I was a fan of the Bucks. So I'm not a bandwagoner. So let's just.
All right. Here's the bigger question: Are you Jordan or are you LeBron?
He's gonna say LeBron. He's young.
No, this is my test.
LeBron.
Okay, approve my test.
LeBron. I'm sorry, and it's not because like I don't think like I just feel like LeBron more for a team.
Did you ever see Jordan play like live? Like I don't mean like live,
I don't like basketball, and I remember Jordan playing and feeling like butterflies in my stomach watching Jordan play as a non-basketball fan.
I never
like.
Go back. So I think that plays into it. So like I know this probably there like I never saw like Bird play or Wilt play or Kareem play. So I don't even consider them in like the greatest talk, but they should be. So I think that plays into it too.
Yeah, I think it's more of what we experienced because when I saw LeBron James play, man, it was just like you were waiting for him just to dunk on someone and just do something crazy because he had the capacity to. Like he's so big, like he just moves people. It's crazy. Well, he can move the biggest player on their team, on every team.
Well, the sport always changes too, right? So I mean, like basketball, you see that the players got progressively taller and taller and taller, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with football. And when go watch a football game from 15 years ago, it was all ground and pound.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, basketball used to need a big man. Now centers are nothing anymore. Now it's all the three ball.
Yeah. Because that's what the crowd likes. That's what people like to see more. They like to see like now they like to see flashy dunks and 3-point shooters. Back in the day, they like to see fundamentals, and people didn't care about this thing called jelly. So when people do a layup, they do like a jelly layup, and it's crazy, it's cool. Back in the day, if you did that shit and you missed the layup, you're running suicides for all blown. Yeah. They don't care about that. We care about just make the layup, get back on defense. Like that's what it was back in the day. Now it's like flashy this, how much money a player makes on the team. Like I never seen people care about the GM and all the shit that goes behind the scenes rather than the basketball. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like it's everything about the NBA is just now about everything.
So speaking of the NBA too, what are your thoughts about the what's his face that fucked all the microphones? What was his name? I'm fucking terrible with names.
Rudy Gobert.
Yes.
The one that first got tested.
Yeah.
I keep saying this, and I think you guys are like, oh my God, he keeps talking about his age. That guy is not that much older than me. He's like what, 23, 24 years old.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's like it was new. He was like, he didn't think what he was doing. He's like, you didn't know it's gonna be like this. I know he right now. He's like, fuck, why I do that? But
so you're saying he's a dumb kid?
Like
I mean, let me play devil's advocate. Let me it's kind of sort of defend him. So you don't know, he could have been getting X questions about COVID for days straight, and finally just lost it and got tired of answering about COVID when he's a basketball player. Like that could have also been going on.
That's something that you need to talk to your PR rep about, because you're definitely somebody of importance. If you know that you are an NBA All-Star, you are someone that everyone knows. You need to know when you go in front of that camera, there's things to do and things not.
Oh yeah, no, he definitely shouldn't have done it. I'm not defending it.
It comes down to the point where if he did it right. He's 23, 24. He's a fucking kid. I'm sorry you guys are fucking babies.
Okay.
All right. You think you know what the world is like. Your balls haven't even dropped yet. You're still fucking in mommy's womb. Trust me. All right. In 10 years, we'll sit down again. And you'll be like, Joe, holy shit. I didn't realize my balls could drop any deeper. Just trust me. All right. It's going to happen.
All right.
So.
Ready.
Where the fuck was I going with this? Wow. I went off on a tangent.
You just like talk. You just like talk to balls.
Again.
So starting to sense a theme with you.
Stop smoking the reefer.
No, it's okay. So with the fact that he's young and you do stupid things when you're young, and he did it, and he came out and he said, you know what, it was a mistake. I was stupid. And I have to hope that he did actually learn from this.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that he did it and it was such a big fucking thing to do that maybe this might have been a good thing because maybe it showed a shit ton of kids, oh, maybe I should take this seriously and not fuck around because this guy I've been, so while it does look dumb, but as long as he's sincere in his apology and he learned from it, it's a teachable moment. How much? I'll tell you. When I was just even dumber. When I was 10 years old, I stuck my finger in a cigarette lighter because I was like, "Oh, I wonder what that would feel like." You're stupid as a kid, and at 24, you're still a kid.
Yeah.
Studies say you're not mentally mature till you're 25.
Let me ask you this: how does your family feel about? Because I think you mentioned earlier that you're staying in a hotel because of whatever you're going through working at the hospital, right? How does your family feel about it?
My mom is she had a hysterectomy 3 weeks ago, so she doesn't really. She thinks she's immunocompromised. You're not immunocompromised, Mom. You're 40 years old. You're fine. But my stepdad had an aneurysm. He has high blood pressure and he takes a lot of medications. So it's just, and I have a 10-year-old sister at home. So it's like, do I want to come home with all this, with all these germs, all these things, and possibly give my family contact with it, or am I going to separate myself as much as possible? My mom, when I go home, she closes my door, leaves my food outside my room, leaves my drinks. She's very doesn't want anyone to get sick, and I have to understand that, and I have to work around it. So
what are your shifts like right now?
Okay, I work 16-hour shifts some days. Sometimes I work 8-hour shifts, but majority I work 8-hour shifts. But I do 16 because I know they need a lot of help. Sometimes they're understaffed. They'll have 2 nurses and 1 aide, and they need more people. So I would stay.
So are you at the hotel indefinitely, or do you get to see your family at all?
I'm at the hotel for they said until I feel like I want to go, I can go back home and I have a situation set up where I'm okay. I'm going to go back home tomorrow, but I just wanted to give my family a break from being exposed to me as much, So I was like, I'll just take it, but I don't want to stay here for so long.
So how long have you been staying in the hotel straight?
3 days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not that long, but I just was I'm able to set up a situation at home where family's on one side, I'm on one side, and they can leave it at that,
Is it a nice hotel or a shitty hotel? We talking Hampton Inn? We talking Hilton Garden?
Something like that, yeah. Hilton Garden, something like that.
So here's a little advice because I had to travel for work. All right, make sure you sign up for the Hilton Garden rewards. And make sure you're putting that reward number down every night you're staying. Because if you keep going back there after I think it's 6 or 7 nights, you get a free one.
Oh, really?
And you get upgraded status. You get free bottles of water when you travel more with them. You get better perks. So get that fucking number and make sure you're getting credit for the nights your company's paying for.
I'm definitely going to do that because this is free. So I'm like, you know what?
And then you're going to have free shit on top of it when you get free nights to go away with a girl someday, man.
You know what I'm saying? That sounds like a good time.
You can go next week because JetBlue to Orlando is only $47 round trip.
I'm definitely not traveling right now, man. I'm not traveling right now. That's not gonna happen.
I was looking it up I was just curious just to see what it would cost to fly my entire family to Orlando next week, and it was $47 round trip each ticket. I was God damn it.
Just think, if you and the family got COVID-19 2 weeks ago and one of the first cases, you can now book on that plane and fly down there with your immunities already, have a fun time doing nothing in Florida because everything's fucking closed down there too, and then fly home.
So you just went for a flight.
What's the point of going? Disney's closed anyway, so.
Yeah.
Indefinitely too. Did you hear that shit?
Yeah, I just heard it
today. They no longer have an end date. It's now indefinitely.
I Am Legend in here. You heard that? We're all gonna turn into zombies.
Well, no, because
starts, man.
No dead patients turn into zombies yet, so we're okay.
I'm not worried about that zombie shit. I'm worried about, again, you're not gonna remember this because you're a fucking baby. But do you remember the show Revolution? I don't know if we talked about this a couple times.
Yes. Yes,
where the whole world's like power grid gets shut off and you go back to like the fucking stuff. I'm more afraid of the power grid going down for some fucking reason right now. Just like what happens if a hurricane hits Florida and now all of a sudden we have to deal with a disaster? Like we are so vulnerable right now that anything can fuck us.
Yeah,
that's what scares me. Like the COVID-19, like again, like everything you're saying, like you're distancing yourself and your family, which is great and it needs to be done. Mm-hmm. But now that you've done that for COVID-19, when do you stop doing it for other things?
You know what I'm worried about right now?
What happens the next time the flu comes out? What happens the next time the common cold hits bad? Like,
I'll tell you what I'm worried about right now.
Concern.
I'm worried about a fucking blizzard out of nowhere that'll hit us for like a week straight.
I don't think we're getting snow.
Why would that matter at this point? We're supposed to be in our house anyway. A blizzard would just be.
That's true.
But a blizzard would be a perfect thing. It would force people to stay home because they couldn't physically get out of their houses anymore.
Right, but I'm talking about like the type of blizzard. Like, remember that fucking video I sent you where like the guy opened up his garage and it was like
the one from Canada.
Yeah. Where his fucking like he opened his garage door and it was like fuck you ain't going nowhere.
No, yes, that's the perfect scenario, dude. You didn't see that we had that gorgeous Sunday last weekend, that Saturday or Sunday, that perfect day we had.
Oh yeah.
How many more cases did you see the next day?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Monday and Tuesday.
That is true.
You probably start seeing cases spiking like crazy after that nice day.
Yeah, that is true.
It's if it's shitty outside, like it's rainy days like this, no one cares about not going out. It's when it's beautiful outside and you're like, oh, I want to be out there.
It's like COVID-19.
That's what I fucking did. I went to the goddamn track because I was like, I can't fucking sit in my house any longer. I was like, I did fucking 3.5 miles the other day at the track because I was like, fuck this. I need to get out of my goddamn house.
It's because you have 3 fucking girls. It's your fault.
I have 5 other women in my house.
Yeah, that's true. I was just counting the kids, but yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Out loud. Yes.
Damn, God bless you, man.
Just keep saying, I love my wife and kids. I love my wife and kids. Just keep reminding yourself.
I'm not going to repeat what I said the other day in the text.
You shouldn't even. I wasn't going to bring that up, man. Yeah.
Ramsey's definitely picking B.
Yeah, B. Definitely B. We got Phil Andre in that one. Whose joke was that?
It was Ray's. It was Ray's.
Ray's? Go ahead. Andre needs to hear the joke.
Oh wait, it was a video online.
Was it video?
Yeah, it was a video online where the guy was you're gonna be quarantined and you have the option of A, being quarantined with your wife and kids, or B, and then the guy just answers B right away without even hearing what the option is.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
All right, so Andre, you got nothing else going on. What are you watching right now?
On TV?
TV, Netflix, Hulu.
We told you what 38-year-olds are watching, 37-year-olds.
You're not gonna like what I'm watching on TV.
What are you watching? Let the world know. What are you watching?
Are you ordering dirty movies on the hospital's dime?
I think I will. I think I am right now.
I don't know. That's what it looks like in the background.
You should get a block of porn. It's cheaper if you buy a block of porn than just one individual movie. So get the block.
I'm going through. I guess it's a hard time. I've never been in a hotel and not had a girl over.
Lucky you.
No, not this. I don't have a girl here.
Her name's unique. Your left hand, it's like you never even knew her, man.
Or you can order Boober Eats.
Oh, I'm really considering. I wish I had the app. But what I'm watching right now on TV, it's a show going on our block. I'm always on YouTube. Like, I'm always watching YouTube videos, and I'm reading a book on I'm probably boring. I'm sorry. I'm reading a book on self-improvement about. It's called The Ascending of a Man, Making of a King. I'm sorry, and it just talks about things that like what guys or kids or young men need to do to become men. The process. It's a deep book.
All right.
You're not like a lot of 22-year-olds I talk to normally, man. You've got a good head on your shoulders.
Everyone tells me I know I feel boring as hell, but that's what I do. Like I just chill.
Dude. When you get to 30, you realize boring is the most fun. Like everything that was a punishment as a child becomes your reward as a 30-year-old.
Like, don't get me wrong. I like to have fun and go out and do shit. Like, I go out and party and stuff. But at the same time, it's just like I have a lot.
That's literally part of my job is going out and partying.
I know. It's probably
I get it.
I just have a lot to lose. You know, and I've been through a lot of self experiences in my life that made me want to, like put that shit to the side and wait for later. Like when I have all the money, like, I could do whatever the fuck I want. Right now, I need to put the work in. So that's just me.
Good mindset.
And again, it's the right mindset, man. It's, like I see so many, like, again, I'm talking like I'm fucking 50, but like it's a gap. It's a generation gap. And, I see these kids, and I say kids because they're coming out expecting to make $100,000 a year for working 15 hours a day, Instagram fucking sponsorships, and like fucking put your head down, keep your, your fucking nose to the grind and do your shit.
Yeah.
Bust your ass and you'll be rewarded.
Yeah.
Like,
what is your favorite car?
Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, we hit a topic. We hit a topic.
It's an ugly ass car. It's an ugly ass car. A Chrysler 300.
What?
A Chrysler 300.
Like a newer Chrysler 300?
A newer Chrysler 300. But Chrysler 300. I love it. The way it looks, the body.
I thought you were. That's not an ugly car. I would thought you were going to see like a Pontiac Aztec.
No.
The Chrysler 300, and I'm not talking bad, but it looks like a cheaper version of a Bentley. It's got the same body shape as like a Bentley.
It gives me like.
Well, it's also newer, right? It's not like.
That was Walter White's car.
Yes.
It also gives me like a
second
Charger vibe mixed with Bentley.
No, I mean, it's probably got like the same Charger engine, let's say, but the body,
I don't know. I like Chrysler 300s. Like, I don't know. I like
the Chrysler 300 compared to a Charger.
I'll tell you, it's a nice driving car.
It's a luxury car, no?
Is it luxury? I think it might be considered like a full size,
a mid-range luxury. Mid-range.
So I'll tell you what, I had to rent a car for a while for work when I first got my new position 2 years ago. And the first car I rented was a Chrysler 300. I made friends with the guy, and he upgraded me to a full size from what the company would pay for. And it was a nice driving car, man. It had it was a smooth ride. It reminded me a lot of like the Sebring. The ride of like the Sebring had on it,
like the Michael Scott Sebring.
Yes, or like the.
Isn't like a black the long one, the long Sebring? Isn't the Sebring long?
It's the Sebring. There's the convertible Sebring, and then there's also the coupe, the 4-door and a coupe Sebring.
Yeah, but I think it was more of a convertible.
The Sebring convertible was like where it was at. But my dad had a Chrysler Sebring hardtop.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
It was a 4-door sedan, so they did have sedans on it as well. But again, it was like a Lexus, I guess, would be what I would compare it to. It's not quite a Mercedes, and then not even quite like a Porsche level, but it's not Toyota. It's kind of that middle level.
Let me ask you guys a question. If I were to get a car, like in the next when I graduate school, and I want to like save up for a new car, I want to get rid of my car. I have a 2012 Nissan Altima. I hate it. I want a truck. What's a good truck? Because I'm 6'2". I'm tired of fucking getting in the car and hitting my head on my freaking roof of my car. Like, I need a truck. Like, I'm tired of it.
Define truck. Do you mean SUV or do you mean an actual pickup truck?
SUV.
Yes.
SUV.
Ford F-150.
Okay. Yeah?
That's not an SUV.
It's a mixture of both.
Like,
no, it's a pickup truck. It's not a mixture. It's a fucking pickup truck.
Ford F-150 Raptor.
I was a mixture of an SUV called a Ford F-150 pickup truck and mixture SUV.
I don't want like a big truck. Like SUV is fine, but I feel like SUVs are like kind of for like smaller. Like if you know like a big.
It depends. Like Escape versus Explorer. Explorer is a big SUV.
I'll say Explorer.
I would get a Jeep or an Explorer. Jeep Cherokee. Or the Grand Cherokee.
I like
the Cherokee. The Cherokee is going to be expensive. That's the problem.
Yeah.
They're all going to be expensive. You're going to be paying $35,000-$40,000.
No, not necessarily. I think the Jeep Cherokee is more of a I don't want to say it's luxury. It's a little bit more expensive than, like, say, Ford Edge. Let's say.
Yeah, I'm 6'1", and I have check out the GMC Terrain.
Oh, okay.
It looks like a fucking Cadillac, man. It looks like the Cadillac CTS.
Yeah. How much?
It's made by G. I think we're paying like for ours. I want to say like $280, $290 a month, something like that. 300, maybe somewhere around there a month for our lease. A month for our lease.
What is it called?
GMC Terrain.
You guys are giving me the gems right now, man. Just can't wait. I'm excited.
Yeah, I like. That's what we have. I like the Terrain.
I do like the Terrain, the Acadia. Those are all nice cars.
It's bigger version of Terrain. If you want something bigger, get that. I mean, I'm 6'1", and I fit comfortably in the Terrain. That's why I'm saying you should check it out. What else? I mean, I had a Scion XB. I love that car. That little boxy one they had by Scion.
They make those anymore?
Scion's no longer a company. They absorbed it into
Toyota or Lexus, either one.
No, Scion. They're all the same company.
Yeah, they're all, right. That's what I'm saying. Toyota or Lexus is the same shit.
Low-end car company.
Yeah. But
Right.
Toyota did come out with that like hybrid.
But if you're
almost like
looking for a car, I got a boy who does. You tell him what you want to lease. He goes out, shops it for you. You tell him how much you want to pay. He tries to find you the best deal. He brings the car right to you. You sign the paperwork. You never got set foot in a fucking dealership.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna need that contact. I got some leases ending.
What? Like,
I got some leases ending this year.
He says, go to the dealership, drive the cars you like, find out which car you wanted to drive. He said, then go call him. He said he'll beat any price that you can find. He'll beat any price you can get because he works with every dealership in the state.
You can text me that number now because I have a lease that's ending in like 2 months. So I already know what I'm going to get, which is the same car.
Now's a good time to do that, man.
Fuck yeah. Send me that goddamn number. I want to hand deliver that goddamn car so I don't have to go nowhere.
And a lot of companies doing 90 days, no payments because of everything going on.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about that. Just fucking send me his number.
Fuck, take advantage of that shit, man.
Dude, all they do is fucking tack on those payments for the next, like, you know. Yeah. That's all they're doing. It's not like they're getting rid of those payments.
Deferred. You're still paying that money one way or another.
I just want the low interest. That's all I care about. I'm thinking about refinancing my fucking mortgage so I can get the lowest interest possible.
You should.
Damn, you guys are making me think. Like when I really get out there, it's like I have to really think.
You got to become an adult.
It's like, man,
you won't have to worry about that for another at least 10 years for you.
No, I think my mom wants to move to Arizona. So when I graduate and I start working by myself, I think I might save up some money to see if I can get a condo. But that's gonna be a lot of money. I heard that I can do, like, if I go to a bank, if I build my credit up, I go to a bank, they'll buy the condo for me, and then I can pay the bank and build up my credit.
Yeah, it's called a mortgage, buddy.
You think what happened?
That's called a mortgage.
Yeah, it's a mortgage.
That's what a mortgage is. The bank loans you the money and you pay them back. That's what it is.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. You know you do.
So my
just
you is
sorry. Good.
Go ahead. You go first.
My advice was just to say find the cheapest apartment that you possibly can. Barely sleep in it as much as possible. Save up as much money as possible.
You barely sleep in it?
Well, yeah, because if you're fucking working nonstop, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You know, you're literally just going there to sleep.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do for work. You know, have 2-3 jobs lined up so that you're working like, you know, I mean, listen, if you want to be able to just be like, I got this much money by, you know, I'm 27, 28 and say I'm buying a house now.
Yeah.
You know?
That's dope.
I disagree. I think saving is very important, but I also believe in working hard and playing hard. You know, it's great. You know, I was in college. I had 3 jobs all through college. I was a hustler. I went to St. Peter's College in Jersey City. You know, yes, my parents helped me pay for some of the tuition, but I went to a 4-year college. I paid for half of this tuition myself while I was working in school. You know, so I only have my monthly payments for my school loans is $100 total for 2 loans. Like it's no fucking money. You know, like So, yes, save as much as you can, but enjoy your life too. Like, don't be the guy that lives in the worst apartment you can find. Yes, live within your means. Understand that you don't need to live on Marin Boulevard in Jersey City overlooking the Manhattan skyline with 3 of your boys because you want to be downtown. You know what? Go to pick a shitty. Go to the Heights. Go to
So Joe, I'm not saying don't enjoy your life. But what I'm saying is don't get to a point where
don't waste money on watches.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is don't get to a point in your life where you think you can afford something that you can't. Right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting to. Live like
you mean.
Set realistic goals and stick to them.
Because I know certain people where, they're like, they'll make certain expectations and say, well, I can afford this now. Then they get to a certain point where they're just like, fuck, I can't afford it.
Okay. So,
and they have to get rid of it. Right. So
yes,
I'm saying is get to a point where it's like if you have to live in a shitty apartment for a year or two. Okay. I'm not saying for, make it a 5-year goal. You live in this place and you save as much money as possible. No, I'm saying if you have to live in a shitty apartment for 1 or 2 years just so you can save some money. Listen, I did that when we fucking, before we bought this house, we got rid of our apartment. We moved in with my mother-in-law where it was like my mother-in-law, Cammie, my daughter and myself, plus a dog and a cat in a fucking 700 square foot apartment for an entire year.
That was in Bloomfield, right?
That was in Bloomfield, so that we can fucking save up as much money as possible in order so that we can move out. We literally stayed there sleeping on an air mattress in the living room for an entire year, saved up enough money to put down and get everything that we needed to buy a fucking house so that we can all move out and buy our house. Literally for an entire year. And I said, you know what? If we want to be able to, for all of us to be able to afford it and do it like we're doing now, this is what we have to do. Everybody agreed. Everybody got on board. And we said, we'll deal with it for an entire year.
Well, and that's important, but even more important.
And you stuck to the plan.
And we stuck to the plan. Exactly.
The plan. If you do that and you start blowing money on going out to eat and buying God knows what, then you find out a year later
you're still in the same situation. And you're nowhere closer. Then fuck that. Yeah, no, you stick to the plan. You do what you gotta do. You set the goals in your fucking mind. Do what you gotta do, and you get there.
Yeah.
Even more important, does your company offer a 401k?
Oh yeah. Oh well,
yeah. Contract.
Oh yeah, I do. I have one.
Okay, I was gonna say if you're not investing in it, you should be investing in the earlier you start, the better.
Taking out like every check.
Does the company match anything for you?
I really don't know. They gave me a brief discussion. Okay. I didn't really look too deep into it, but I
talk to your HR rep, find out if the company matches anything. And whatever they match, you should be putting that. So if the company says, okay, if you put 6% in, we'll give you 3% more for your retirement. So whatever the company says they'll match you should have that minimum in there because that's free money.
Yeah.
And then what I've done throughout my career, and again, I've adjusted how much I put in, but whenever I get a raise, I've always upped my 401k contributions by half of whatever my raise was. Okay. So say if I got a 5% raise, I throw an extra 2% into my 401k before I even got that first paycheck because you're just investing more in your future.
That's smart.
And again, if you come to it, like I was at one point, I was putting in I think when I was with my ex-wife, I was up to 18% I was putting in myself. Every paycheck, 18% every paycheck of my money was going away for savings. I needed to have some money because I was going through a divorce, so I dropped it down to my company matched 6%, so I went back down to the 6%, and then I built myself back up again. But the more money you can get in your 401k, the better. I already have just in my 401k over $100,000 already, and that's only one of my saving sides, So
it's dope, man. You've been married twice?
Yeah.
Don't go into it.
Let's not go there.
I have to be careful because my ex-wife. So I met these two fine gentlemen through my ex-wife.
Oh, okay.
So
people come in your life for a reason,
That's what I said. If nothing else, I got to meet them and have them in my life now from the divorce.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like every situation comes, people come bring knowledge and bring wisdom to you in a certain way, and then you take that. Like, you can't take bad experiences. You have to take them as a learning experience. I feel like that's the only way you're gonna progress. You just sit here and dwell on evil, like bad things. You won't ever move forward.
Dude, I want to stay friends with you. At 22, you are fucking like a guru. I didn't realize that shit till I was like 36, maybe 37. I haven't even realized it yet.
I mean, I have to think like that. If I don't think like that, I'm just gonna be. I just want to be good. Like, that's my main goal. Like, everyone's like, oh, you want to be a nurse or you want to do things like that, whatever. I'm sorry, whatever. Well, you want to do this and that. It's like, yeah, but I know that having this type of job title, you need to have a certain amount of wisdom, a certain amount of responsibility. Like, you taking care of people's lives, So I feel like before you get a job like this, you need to make self-reflect. You have to have time for self-reflection and work on yourself. So you can have that title and responsibility to take care of people, Like, if you don't, then...
I do. But do you want to know what I was thinking about when I was 22?
What?
How I was going to get the drunk trick passed down in front of my refrigerator out of the way so I can get another fucking beer out of it. That's what I was thinking about at 22.
No, I had my.
So
time.
God bless you, man. So like, shit.
No, you weren't. You were thinking about when your balls are going to fully drop.
No, I dormed at
they hadn't yet, so I didn't know yet.
I went to Montclair at university, Montclair State University.
Me too.
I dormed there for 2 years, bro. Those 2 years fucked up my life. That's why I was like, you know what? Let me get my shit together.
I went
to Montclair for 7 years.
Did you dorm in Bone Hall?
No, I was a commute student.
I used to work at Floyd Hall.
You used to work in Bone Hall?
No, Floyd Hall.
Where's Floyd Hall? In Montclair?
Yeah, it's the ice skating rink.
Ice rink.
Oh, I never been there. That's why. Yeah, I never went there. Yeah, I just didn't I didn't want to go there. I was doing other shit I was supposed to.
Sorry.
What the fuck was that?
I was doing other shit.
You know what that was? That was Mr. Michael Scott. That was Mr. Michael Scott.
That's what she said.
Sorry. Have you ever? All right. Here's a question for you, right? So we're big. At least me and Joe are big fans of the show. Have you ever watched The Office?
Yeah, I watched The Office. It's fun. Watch it.
Is it just because it's on that it's funny, or do you actually watch it?
I'll go through the channels and I'll just I watch certain episodes, and I think I don't think it's something I would watch all the time, but when I watch the episode, I fucking die. Like, you know what I'm saying? I laugh. But I don't look to watch it. Like, oh my God, it's coming on. If I just pass it and I have nothing else to watch, I'll watch it.
I literally have it on Netflix in the background almost all the time because it's. I mean, for one, my wife watches it all the time, and it's. I mean, there's just some episodes that I just think are just fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the episode when they go to Benihana's.
Yep.
And when they he marks the one chick on her arm. Oh my! Because he can't tell the Asian girls apart, so he puts a mark on her arm.
Yeah. So, what's a funny show for you?
A funny show for me. Give me 1 second, man. You gotta give me a second. Funny show for me. Damn. The shit you guys are think I'm a boring ass 22-year-old.
Come on.
Because the shit that I watch like documentaries. I watch like shit that I know you don't watch. I'm watching this show called On Our Block. It's about like a bunch of kids that are living in the ghetto and they're trying to fucking like deal with dumb issues, and it's funny, like shit like that. It's like I don't really know.
All right, so here's who's a funny comedian for you?
Oh, this is a good one. You guys know Kevin Hart obviously is funny.
Yeah.
But do you guys know this? I forgot he's white guy. He's so fucking funny. Give me 1 second.
If you say Bert Kreischer, I'm gonna shit my pants.
No, this white guy. Give me 2 seconds.
He's gonna say it's the machine.
Is he shirtless?
No.
Has he robbed the Russian train before?
No. Is it Garrett or Kevin or Garrett? Oh my god. All right, whatever. I like Eddie Murphy. Are
we talking like Eddie Murphy Raw, or are we talking Eddie Murphy like the donkey from Shrek?
Raw.
Okay.
No.
Okay. All right. Eddie Murphy Raw. Okay. Go ahead. Keep going.
I'm just checking. I'm a comedy nut, so that's why I'm asking.
I like man, I'm so bad with names. Oh my god. Give me some people. You guys give me some people so I can look up this guy's name.
Bert Kreischer, Joe Rogan, Tom Segura, Bill Burr, Hassan Minaj.
Are you just naming? I was like, are you going down all the white comedians right now?
No.
You're afraid to start naming like Chris Rock and Chris Tucker.
You guys know who Gary Owen is?
Yeah.
Yes.
That guy is freaking hilarious, bro. He's
funny. If you like him, listen to Chad Daniels.
Yeah.
He's really funny too. He's funny. You'll like him if you like Gary Owen.
I'm not a fan of Aziz Ansari.
You don't like him?
I mean, he's okay,
you
but
like Randy. Ba-ba-ba-ba.
He's okay, but I'm not a big fan of his stand-up specials. Jim Norton. I like Jim Norton. I mean, his is a little bit more raunchier than the others, but I do like Jim Norton.
Fucking filthy, but I love him.
Yeah. Carlos. No, not Carlos Mencia. George Lopez.
Oh. Dun, dun, dun. You're going to go Carlos Mencia?
Against
Carlos Mencia?
Come on. Against Joe Rogan?
You know who I don't find funny? Cat Williams. I don't find him funny at all. Like, I feel like his jokes are all the same.
No,
I don't know if you guys...
No, I don't find him funny. Dave Chappelle?
Oh, Dave Chappelle. Oh, my God. He talks about
Chappelle is on his own level.
Yeah.
You can't even put Chappelle in the same fucking stratosphere as other comedians, man.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, here's a good one. I mean, all right, he's white. Jim Brewer.
I don't know who that
is. That's it. It's over. Interview's over. That's it. Time to get up.
Sorry, bro.
Okay, have you ever seen the movie Half Baked?
No. Oh, Jim Brewer. Let me see his face.
No, you won't know. No. Look up Jim Brewer and look up working at Sears after this episode.
Yeah, I never saw this guy before.
Just go down a Jim Brewer rabbit hole.
No,
his Sears bit's hilarious. The alcohol is mixing in his stomach's hilarious. His Goat Boy bits are hilarious. Just go down a rabbit hole. You'll enjoy it.
I will.
I'm gonna text you.
All right. So if we're asking old names, how about this one? Do you know who John Belushi is?
No.
Of course, he's not gonna know who John Belushi is.
I don't know, man. He knew Eddie Murphy. Hold on. He knew Eddie Murphy Raw. That was Eddie Murphy Raw was like 84, 85 for a special.
But yeah,
I think that was 83.
Because
83 maybe. Yeah.
I grew up with Eddie Murphy, so I looked at his stuff when he was like I had the logo back and look at shit. Like,
all right, do you know who the Impractical Jokers are?
What?
Do you know who the Impractical Jokers are?
The Practical Jokers? No, who are they?
Okay, never mind.
I'm sorry, I'm disappointing you guys. I'm so sorry.
All right, so I sent you two texts just now. So one was Jim Brewer and one was Sal Vulcano. So Sal is from the Impractical Jokers with the whole possible terrorism thing that he did. I'll send you Joe and Ray that link also if you guys want to watch that.
Yeah, I'm looking up right now.
Yeah. So after we're done, go and watch those, and then we'll talk about that later.
More importantly, go watch Animal House first, because if you don't know who John Belushi is, you need to go watch Animal House.
Animal House?
Yes. By far, it may be my number one all-time favorite movie.
When did this movie come out?
1986, 87, maybe.
He said it came out in 1978.
Oh, man.
Fuck. That sounds right. Animal House?
My mom wasn't even born yet. My mom was born in 1980.
All right. Listen.
Mic drop.
On that note,
really good fucking movie.
On that note,
mic drop.
We're gonna end.
I'm sorry, but
we're gonna. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna end this episode on that note.
Okay.
Before we go on,
come back and we're gonna just talk about age gap differences. Forget all this COVID-19 shit.
Yeah.
We're just going to talk about, how about do you know who Steve Urkel is?
Of course.
Okay. I don't know, man. You didn't know who John Belushi was.
Do you know who? Wait. Do you know who Bob Saget is?
No.
I think it's more of a cultural difference than it is an age difference.
I think it's a culture thing. It's definitely a culture thing. It's definitely a culture thing.
So you're saying it's because we didn't specify this, because it doesn't fucking matter in the world. But I'm white, and Andre is an African American gentleman.
Yes, it is definitely a cultural thing. If he knows who Steve Urkel is, but he doesn't know who Bob Saget is, it's definitely a cultural thing. It's not an age thing. It's not an age thing. At that level, at that level, it's not an age thing. Because they were there at the same time.
Oh, here's the real test. Here's the real test. Have you seen Coming to America?
Of course. What do you mean?
Okay. But you haven't seen Adam. Okay, how about here's another one. So you saw Coming to America, which is a very big. How about, have you seen Meatballs?
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs?
No. Just Meatballs.
I know.
So it's definitely
cultural thing.
It's because I'm white. I get it. Okay.
Oh, Christ.
All right.
This is my point of life. We need to be able to laugh at each other and know that I'm not saying anything with malice in my heart. I'm laughing at the fact that this is what life's all about, man. We find out what makes us different and we embrace it.
We're having fun. We're having fun at this point. I mean, listen, this is, if it's nothing else, we just enjoy the time that we have, right?
Exactly. That's all it is. I got a lot of good information, like what car I'm going to get, how I'm going to continue to be on the future and path I'm going. You know what I'm saying? And new movies to watch during this quarantine. It's great.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, listen, Andre, thank you for being a guest on the show.
Of course.
We've had, it was a lot of information. We threw a lot of questions at you, but it was a good time.
It was a great time. Thank you for having me. It was a great experience. First time doing something like this. And of course, if you guys let me come back, I'm coming back.
Listen, we consider you now as a friend of the show. So next time, we'll schedule some time with you. We'll figure it out. We'll work something out.
Just let me know.
You're an average gentleman's alum at this point.
There you go.
All right, man.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let us know what you think. We're going to post this out as soon as possible, and we'll take it from there.
Thanks, everybody. Remember, like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you like about this. Tell us what you don't like about this.
And
tell me if I'm fucking too fucking much.
And
wash your hands, cover your mouth.
Practice for hands.
Stay home.
Wear a mask, stay home, and check out our YouTube channel now.
Stay home, listen to our podcast, and watch our YouTube videos.
And
stay home and play with your balls a little bit too. You got to remember to fondle the balls.
I don't know if Andre knows about that.
Okay. Adam Sandler.
Yes, I know Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler is funny as hell.
That's not a good test. So
yeah, that's not a good test. Adam Sandler's played basketball. He's almost black.
Yeah, Adam Sandler.
that is a true story. You're right. Okay.
All right. Chris Farley.
No, you lost me there.
Bill Burr.
Who?
Bill Burr.
I think I know this guy. What movie did he play in?
I don't think he's played in any movies. Have you ever watched Breaking Bad?
Burr's been movies.
You ever watch Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
So Bill Burr was one of the Saul Goodman's guys.
Oh, I think I'm
He was in the movie The Heat also with Sandra Bullock and what's her name?
Was
McCarthy.
He?
Melissa McCarthy.
I don't remember him in that movie.
He was one of the thugs at the end. And when I think he got like shot in the ear or something. I'm pretty sure he was on that.
What's his name again?
Bill Burr.
William Burr.
No, it's Bill Burr. Who the fuck calls him William Burr?
I think that's his Instagram name, like William Burr.
Is it?
That's funny. I think it's. I want to say something like that.
Oh, he was a fun. Yeah, I know who he is. I saw his face before.
All right, well, let's get off this call. This early.
Yes, that's Bill Burr. Yes.
Yeah.
He's a diehard fucking Celtics fan too, man.
Celtics.
He's from fucking Boston. What do you expect?
No, yes, he's from Boston, but he's like one of those. Do you remember the movie Celtic Pride with the tall guy from
David Williams, Dan Aykroyd?
Yeah, they kidnapped Damon Wayans, who's a basketball player. There's another movie, Peter, Celtic Pride. That's another funny one.
And David Stern was the other one.
Yes, the tall guy, Mar from
Home Alone.
What the fuck was the movie?
Home Alone.
Home Alone. Another good movie he was in. Have you seen this one, Bushwhacked?
Bushwhack. Why does that sound familiar? That sounds familiar.
It was the movie with the kids that go hiking up the mountain, and he kidnapped the kids as a scout leader. It's fucking brilliant.
It sounds familiar. Yes, it really does sound familiar, and I remember him in
Heavyweights. Go watch Heavyweights. Also
Heavyweights. I remember Heavyweights.
What year are these movies coming out?
Dude, these are like late 80s, at least late 80s.
You were a baby.
So,
these movies like late 80s, early 90s.
If I told you the late 80s, early 90s movies that I watch, you're probably like, why the fuck am I watching a movie like that? Like The Crush or fucking
The Golden Child.
Yeah, some weird movie.
No, you've never watched The Golden Child. Don't lie.
Eddie Murphy movie.
Hold on, wait. Who's in the Golden Child?
No, I didn't watch it.
Oh yeah,
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
I saw like Brooklyn Vampire with Eddie Murphy or something. Did you see that one?
Oh,
you saw
I've seen
Vampire in Brooklyn. You saw one of the worst movies of all fucking time, and you haven't seen Animal House. Fucking night. I'm leaving.
All right, we're done. We're going.
How do I drop it? How do I unscrew it?
All right. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end with the Vampire Brooklyn with Eddie Murphy.
I'm sorry, bro.
No worries. Thank you for being a guest on the show. And if you guys have any questions, hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, and we'll get back to you. But Andre, thank you for joining us, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
All right.
Later, everybody.
Good night.
Later.
Good night.